Hi everybody, I am Gayatri from Impulse Coaching Institute. Today we are going to discuss about amendment of the Constitution. So Article 368 in Part 20 of the Constitution deals with the powers of Parliament to amend the Constitution and its procedure. So what is the meaning of amendment? Amend means to change. It means to make some changes. So this Article 368 tells us how we can make changes to our Constitution. Who has the power? Only Parliament has the power to make changes to the Constitution, and it also deals with the procedure. So Article 368 states that Parliament may, in exercise of its constituent power, amend by way of addition, variation or repeal any provision of the Constitution in accordance with the procedure laid down for the purpose. So this article clearly states that only Parliament has the power, to amend the Constitution. There is no mention of state legislature here. So before we move on to see the procedure in detail, let's see from where we have been inspired. Usually our Constitution has a lot of features from the Constitution of other countries. So with regard to amendment, we chose a middle path, between the procedure followed in England and the procedure followed in US. In England, the Constitution is very flexible. Amendments can be made very easily. Just like any ordinary bill, amendment bill can be passed. But when it comes to US, the procedure is very rigid. It is not easy to make amendments to the Constitution. So India has taken a middle path between England and US. We stand somewhere here between England and US. So we can say that Indian Constitution is neither flexible nor rigid, but a synthesis of both. So let's see the procedure. An amendment of the Constitution can be initiated only by the introduction of a bill for the purpose in either House of Parliament and not in the state legislature. So the bill can be introduced only in the Parliament. It cannot be introduced in the state legislature. And the bill can be introduced either by a minister or by a private member. So anybody can introduce it. It can be a minister or a private member. This bill does not require the prior permission of the President. But all of you know, money bill requires the prior permission of the President, but Constitutional Amendment Bill does not require the prior permission of the President. So after the bill is introduced in either House of the Parliament by either the minister or a private member, now the bill must be passed in each house by a special majority. I will tell you what a special majority is. We will first look into the different types of majority and then we will come back to the procedure. So a simple majority is 50% present and voting. More than 50% present and voting. Just imagine there are 200 people in the house. That's the total strength. Only 100 people are present. So special majority means more than 50%. So 51 people have to say yes. In that case, that bill will be passed by simple majority. Now what is absolute majority? 50% of total membership of the house. 200 is the total membership of the house. So absolute majority is 50% of 200, which is 100. So it should be 101. It should be 101 or more than 101. What is special majority? Special majority is 2/3 present and voting. Here the total strength is 200, only 100 people are present, so 2/3 of 100. It should be more than 2/3 of 100. That is special majority. Okay. So special majority is absolute majority. This condition and this condition put together is called a special majority. Okay. So special majority is a majority which is more than 50% of the total membership of the house and a majority of 2/3 of the members of the house present and voting. These two conditions put together, we call it as special majority. Okay. So now let's come back to the procedure. After the bill is introduced in either house, the bill must be passed in each house by a special majority. Both the conditions should be satisfied. And each house must pass the bill separately. In case the houses disagree with each other, in case Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha disagrees, okay, Lok Sabha passes it but Rajya Sabha does not pass it. In case of deadlock, there cannot be a joint sitting. For an ordinary bill, in case of a deadlock, there can be joint sitting, which is given in Article 108. But with regard to Constitutional Amendment Bill, there is no provision for joint sitting. Okay, so the bill has to be passed separately. Okay. Okay. So if the bill is passed by the Parliament, in case the bill affects the federal provisions of the Constitution, it has to be ratified by the legislature of half of the states by a simple majority. Okay, so federal provisions are nothing but provisions which affect the center-state relations. In such cases, half of the states must ratify the bill. Okay, so in their state legislature, the bill must be passed by a simple majority. Simple majority is nothing but more than 50% of present and voting. After the bill is ratified by the legislature of half of the states by a simple majority, it comes back to the president for his assent. The president has no choice, he has no option, he has to give his assent. He cannot withhold the bill. He cannot send the bill back for reconsideration. He doesn't have these options, he has to give his assent. Okay. So this is the procedure for amending the Constitution. Once the President gives his assent, the bill becomes an act. Okay? That is a Constitutional Amendment Act, and the Constitution stands amended in accordance with the terms of the Act. This is the procedure. So just to give you a quick recap, the bill can be introduced in either house of the Parliament and not the state legislature. It can be introduced by the minister or a private member. Okay, the prior permission of the president is not required, unlike the money bill. And both the houses must pass the bill separately with a special majority. Right? No, there is no provision for joint sitting. And if the bill involves certain federal provisions, then the ratification of the state legislature is necessary. Half of the states must ratify by a simple majority. Then it comes back to the president. President has no option, he has to give his assent. After he gives his assent, the Constitution will stand amended. Right? This is the procedure for the amendment of the Constitution. So if you have any doubts regarding this topic, please leave your comments in the comment section below. For any other queries regarding TNPSC, UPSC, SSC, banking exams, you can contact Impulse Coaching Institute. Thank you.